Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a topic that's really reshaped digital culture and commerce, too, the world of TikTok influencers.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's gone from this, nascent app to a global powerhouse. And understanding the strategy behind these influencers is, well, it's essential for anyone trying to navigate the digital world today.
Absolutely.
We've dug into a key source for this, a strategic analysis report. It's called the TikTok Influencer Playbook, Growth and Monetization. Our mission is basically to pull out the most important, maybe even surprising insights for you.
What's really fascinating here, I think, is how fast it's all evolved, but also how strategic it all is under the surface.
Right.
We're going to try and break down not just who these influencers are, but the actual mechanics of their growth, their monetization strategies, and the practical lessons we can take away from how they dominate.
So moving beyond just the follower counts and stuff.
Exactly. Getting into the real strategic playbook.
Okay, so get ready to understand the forces behind those viral trends, figure out how the algorithm really works, and discover the, well, pretty sophisticated strategies creators are using to build these massive, loyal audiences. All right, let's unpack this.
That's it.
So when we think of TikTok influencers, a lot of us maybe picture a certain type of creator, right? Like dancers, comedian.
The early stereotype, maybe.
Yeah, but our sources show it's actually way more complex. There's this evolving hierarchy. And right at the very top, the playbook talks about mega influencers, people who are basically global celebrities now.
Indeed. And these individuals, they're not just popular. They kind of represent these content archetypes that have almost universal appeal. They manage to cut across language and culture.
How so?
Well, looking at their success gives us this macro view of what really resonates broadly on the platform.
Okay, so give us some examples. Who are these global architects, as you put it?
Well, the most followed person is Kabi Lame. He's
Mhm.
got, what, over 162 million followers?
Wow.
And his whole style is silently, humorously mocking those overly complicated life hack videos.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those. He just shows the simple way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With that deadpan look. It's pure nonverbal comedy.
Yeah.
Universally understood.
That's kind of amazing. The biggest star just silently points out the obvious. And then there's Charlie D'Amelio, right, the original dance kid.
Over 155 million followers.
Mhm.
Her dance routines, the lip syncs, they really defined early TikTok. And she's managed to evolve her brand, big deals with Duncan, Hollister.
Smart.
And you also see people like Mr. Beast. He brought his huge YouTube following over.
The philanthropic stuntman.
Yeah, that's a good description. Over 106 million followers now on TikTok. Known for these high-budget challenges, giving away cars, islands.
Crazy stuff.
On TikTok, he just delivers these bite-sized spectacles. Really addictive.
And Bella Poarch, too. She went from one viral lip sync to becoming a musician.
Yeah, releasing songs, tackling complex themes even. It just shows TikTok can be this unexpected launch pad into, mainstream entertainment.
It's not just the native TikTokers either, is it?
No, not at all. Established celebrities like Will Smith, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, they've successfully adapted their personas for TikTok, too.
Which shows the platform's reach, I guess.
Huh.
Broad demographic.
Definitely. It's a direct line to fans.
Okay, so those are the mega stars. But what really got me in the sources was what's happening below that level. This niche taxonomy they described.
Ah, yes. The specialists.
A whole ecosystem of them. This seems to be where you see TikTok moving beyond just pure entertainment. It's becoming a utility.
That rise of the specialist is, I think, a really critical shift. You're seeing these incredibly loyal communities forming around specific interests, sometimes really specific.
And that's where the real potential is for growth, monetization.
Exactly. For creators and brands alike. Sustainable potential.
So what are some of these surprising niches that are, really taking off beyond the comedy and dance stuff?
Well, those foundational categories, comedy, dance, music, they're still huge, obviously. But maybe the biggest sign of TikTok maturing is the just explosive growth in educational content.
Educational.
Yeah, often under the banner, #Learn on TikTok.
Like actual academic stuff. Science, finance on TikTok.
Precisely. You've got creators like at the Physics Girl or at Institute of Human Anatomy.
Wait, human anatomy?
Yeah, making complex science accessible, even captivating. Mark Rober, the former NASA engineer, his fun science videos get millions of views. And in finance, you have Mark Tilbury, Humphrey Yang. They're giving really practical advice. Personal finance, investing, entrepreneurship, stuff young audiences might not get elsewhere.
Filling a knowledge gap.
Definitely. Even history. At
Yeah.
History Avenue, languages, like in English with Diddy, proves academic subjects can work in these short, punchy
And
formats.
what about other areas, like beauty?
Well, influencers like McKellen O'Gara, they build empires. But it's built on trust, utility, and just brutal honesty in reviews.
Right, it feels authentic, sharing their actual skincare journeys. It's personal.
Tangible value, that
Yeah.
connection. And tech, too. People like Mark Brownlee, MKBHD, or Carter PCs, Justine Ezerick.
They demystify tech.
Exactly. Reviews, unboxings, tips, they become these trusted guides. And their endorsements, they can really move the needle on purchase decisions. That's huge for brands.
So, pulling this together, what does it all mean? The playbook suggests this fundamental shift, right? From passive entertainment towards active utility.
Yes.
And the sources even say a big chunk of Gen Z now uses TikTok like a primary search engine instead of Google sometimes.
That's what the data suggests. It's not just a trend. It's a seismic shift in how a whole generation is looking for information.
Wow, the implications of that are huge.
They really are. It means brands in fields you might think are drier finance, B2B, healthcare, higher ed, they can now build real engaged audiences on TikTok.
Even with complex topics.
Absolutely. Look at the Institute of Human Anatomy again, posting detailed videos of human cadavers. It proves there's a big, curious audience for super specialized content.
If it's packaged right. Visually, TikTok native format.
Exactly. The key isn't dumbing it down, it's making it accessible. Radically accessible.
Okay. And to help brands figure this out, the sources offer this tool, a TikTok influencer matrix, which shifts focus from just follower count to strategic alignment. This sounds really useful for anyone listening, whether you're managing a brand or just curious about digital marketing.
It allows a brand to pinpoint the type of influence that actually fits their campaign goals, moving past those vanity metrics.
So like a fintech company wanting trust.
Should partner with a financial guru,
Yeah.
like Mark Tilbury, right? Leverage their credibility. Not necessarily a dance prodigy with maybe more followers, but totally the wrong audience.
It's about the kind of influence, smart targeting.
Precisely. The right influence for the right outcome.
Okay, so we know who the players are now, roughly. But how do they actually break through? How does stuff go viral? Let's get into the algorithm. The playbook calls it TikTok's virality engine.
Right. The invisible hand, essentially, is this incredibly complex recommendation engine.
It does.
Determines what flies and what fizzles out.
And its main goal is just keep people watching.
Keep users on the platform as long as possible. That's the prime directive. It does this by feeding you this hyper-personalized stream on your For You page, the FYP.
So what does it actually look at? What are the core ranking factors? What does the algorithm really care about?
It tracks a ton of interactions. Likes, comments, shares, saves, follows, those are all good signals. But the two metrics that carry the most weight, according to the sources, are video completion rate.
How much of the video people actually watch?
Right, the percentage who watch right to the end. And rewatchers.
Watching it again.
Yeah. Those signals tell the algorithm, hey, this video is super engaging, it's valuable, and that prompts it to push the content out wider and wider.
Okay, so if watch time and completion rate are the algorithm's sort of North Star, does that mean the very beginning of the video is crucial?
Absolutely crucial. The sources call it the first 3 seconds imperative.
The hook.
Exactly.
Okay.
It has to immediately stop the scroll, create enough curiosity, enough intrigue to make you commit to watching the whole thing. If you don't grab them in those first few seconds,
You've lost them, gone.
pretty much, yeah, swiped away.
So what kind of hooks work? What are the top influencers doing in those first 3 seconds?
Well, they might make a really bold claim, something like, this is the craziest coincidence I've ever heard.
Okay, grabs your attention.
Or ask a direct question that sparks curiosity. What if your skincare could work overnight? Or maybe just a surprising visual, or hinting at some secret or payoff. Want to know the meaning of life from an Auschwitz survivor?
Wow, powerful stuff.
The playbook is really clear on this. No matter how brilliant the rest of your content is, without a strong hook, it might just get lost before the algorithm even notices it.
That's interesting. What about the content itself? Does the algorithm prefer certain types of messages? Like factual stuff over opinion?
Yeah, the analysis of viral content suggests that videos structured as sharing knowledge or making specific claims, here's a secret about X nobody tells you, they tend to perform better than just pure opinion pieces.
Which ties back to that idea of TikTok as a search engine, I guess.
Exactly. People are looking for answers, for information, even in bite-sized forms.
And what about emotion? Does the algorithm like happy videos more?
That's where it gets nuanced. The sources found something really interesting. While yes, positive or happy content might go viral a bit more easily initially,
Okay.
once negative or even controversial content does break through that initial barrier, it achieves pretty comparable engagement levels.
So it's not about positive versus negative.
It suggests the main driver isn't the type of emotion, positive or negative, but the intensity of the emotion. Content that sparks a strong reaction, joy, anger, surprise, outrage, whatever, that's way more likely to get shared and commented on. And that feeds the algorithm those strong engagement signals it loves.
Right. Which brings up a big question. Is TikTok really the equal playing field it sometimes claims to be? Can anyone just go viral based on great content?
Well, if you connect all these dots, the playbook basically suggests it's not a pure content meritocracy, not in the traditional sense,
Why not?
because the algorithm relies so heavily on these quantifiable structural signals, like having that perfect hook,
Yeah.
getting a high completion rate, using a trending sound cleverly. This creates a pretty rigid framework for what succeeds,
Meaning?
meaning a video with maybe a mediocre message, but a perfectly optimized structure, great hook, good pacing, right sound, could easily outperform a video with a truly brilliant message, but a weak structure that doesn't grab attention immediately.
So success on TikTok is less about how good your idea is and more about how well you package it for the algorithm.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Mastery of the packaging, the
Yeah.
delivery.
That's kind of powerful. And maybe a little unsettling.
It is. The platform rewards content that best fits the algorithm's preferred structure, not necessarily the best content subjectively.
So what's the takeaway for creators or brands then?
It means your creative briefs, your content strategies, they have to prioritize these structural things, the hook, the pacing, the sound strategy, just as much as the core message itself. They're not secondary anymore.
Okay, so understanding the algorithm is the theory part. Now, how do the top players actually use this knowledge to grow their audience consistently? The sources lay out a kind of playbook, right? Foundational strategies.
Yeah, these are like the non-negotiables, the building blocks for anyone, creator or brand, trying to get real traction, not just a one-off viral hit.
Let's start with one they called the Hook Story Offer Framework. Sounds like a formula.
It basically is a clear three-act structure,
Yeah.
designed specifically to keep people watching and, crucially, turn viewers into followers.
Okay, break it down. Hook is first 3 seconds, grab attention, set an expectation. We covered that.
Right. Then comes the story. That's the main body of the video.
Delivering the goods.
Exactly. Delivering on the promise you made in the hook. Whether it's teaching something, entertaining, inspiring, it needs to build momentum. Pacing is vital here. Quick cuts, dynamic visuals, maybe on-screen text captions,
Keep the eyes moving.
and, crucially, you often save the biggest payoff, the most important bit of info, right for the very end. To maximize that watch time, the algorithm values so much.
Makes sense. And then the offer.
The last 1 to 3 seconds. A clear call to action. A
Yeah.
CTA.
Ask for likes.
Shares.
For audience growth, the playbook says the most effective CTA isn't actually likes or shares. It's directly incentivizing a follow by making a specific promise. Like, if you want more tips on your niche, follow me. It connects the follow to future value, turns that one-time view into a potential long-term follower.
Smart. Okay, another big one mentioned is strategic trend and sound integration. Trends are huge on TikTok, but it's not just about copying, is it? No, definitely not mindless copying. The best creators spot a trending sound or a challenge or a meme that actually fits their niche.
Relevance is key.
Yes. And then they add their own unique spin, something original that aligns with their brand or their usual content.
Why is using a trending sound so powerful?
Because the sound itself basically becomes a discoverable category. The algorithm surfaces content using popular sounds. It's a huge lever for increasing your potential reach.
So how do you find these trends?
Just diligently watching your own For You page is key, using TikTok search. And they have that TikTok viral playlist you can check out too.
Got it. And lastly, hashtags. The sources talk about a multi-layered hashtag architecture. Sounds fancy.
It just means being strategic. It's crucial for getting discovered and finding your community. You don't just dump in random generic tags.
Okay, so what are the layers in this architecture?
First, you've got your broad discovery hashtags, things like hashtag FIP, hashtag For You page, that signals to the algorithm, show this widely.
Okay, general reach.
Second, and maybe most important for finding your people, are niche community hashtags, like hashtag book talk, hashtag FinTalk, hashtag skincare.
Connects you to an engaged group.
Exactly. highly engaged communities.
Hmm.
Third are content-specific keywords. These work like SEO, really, describing the actual topic. Hashtag how to write a book. Hashtag unboxing.
Makes sense, like keywords.
And finally, branded or campaign hashtags.
Mm.
These are unique tags a brand creates, like Chipotle's hashtag walk dance. Helps build community around a campaign, gathers all the user content.
So what's the best practice? Use all of them. Load up the caption.
No, the playbook recommends a mix, usually just 3 to 5 highly relevant hashtags per post.
Quality over quantity.
Definitely. Combining maybe one broad tag for reach with several really specific niche or content tags for relevance, that's way more effective than just stuffing it with the generic stuff, precision targeting.
Right. So wrapping up, whether you're just curious, an aspiring creator, maybe a brand strategist listening in, we've really tried to unpack the strategic forces behind TikTok's incredible rise. We've looked at the influencer hierarchy, dug into the algorithm secrets, laid out those practical growth strategies. It really is a world where understanding the subtle mechanics, the technical side, matters just as much as the big creative idea.
And if we connect that to the bigger picture, I think this dive highlights something important about our digital age. Being well-informed now often means understanding why content is popular, not just what is popular, understanding the systems underneath.
Yeah, the systems governing reach. And the playbook really showed how TikTok has shifted, hasn't it? From just fun entertainment to this powerful utility where specialized, even academic content can actually thrive.
Which raises, I think, a final, maybe provocative question for you, the listener, to think about.
Okay.
If success on a huge platform like TikTok depends so much on this packaging, on fitting these algorithmic structures, what does that imply about how we consume and, maybe more importantly, value information in this increasingly algorithm-driven world?
Are we starting to value virality over quality?
Are we valuing information for its inherent quality, its truth perhaps, or more for its simple ability to spread, to go viral within these structures? It's something to consider.
Definitely something to chew on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you feel much more informed and ready to navigate the fascinating, complex, and often surprising world of TikTok influence.